Hey everybody, this is Allison from Alley Cat Creations. How are you? I'm glad I'm gray. Ah, glad I'm gray. Gray hair, that is. Hi everybody. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'm popping chat out so I can see it. Hi. If you get anything from my work, please like, share, subscribe. The connect the dots, the epiphanies, the mind explosions. You can support me by going to the description box after the show because it's not there, but all of my other videos, I have ways of helping me. And holidays are coming. Hi, holidays are coming. I was very busy last year and it saved my life. These are new out of the mold. These are smallish mediums. Full pyramids. I have skulls with big gems inside. I got floral skulls. Business card holders. Real cheap. Real cheap. Bigger gems, bigger pyramids. I have a whole ton of pyramids behind me. Freya cat the other day was laying amongst them, and I thought it was the cutest thing. I took some pictures and I put it on Facebook because why not? Hi, Gary. Hi, Charlene. Hello. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining me. I know there's a bunch of people that might join in during the stream. So just alleycatcreations211.com if you want to see my portfolio. It's all the drawings and stuff. Unfortunately, because of my financial shit show, I cannot afford an LLC or to go get tax IDs and all that insurance stuff. It's expensive. Hey, Buckshot. What's up? So if you would like to do any kind of commerce, I do it privately, Tia, because it's fun. I saw my paycheck today and I screamed down the hallway, hoping my principal would hear that I'm glad I'm already gray. um, Pay sucks here. So I am still looking for a part-time job. Haven't found one. Haven't found one yet. A lot of them don't work around the schedule that I have with the school. I'm looking for nighttime hours and just putting my ray of faith out there and asking my higher self, like, what the hell is going on, please? I need help and I need it now. I need money, J.G. Wentworth, and I need it now. Um, I do want to thank everybody who has helped me financially and who's supporting me. Thank you guys so much. So, the last 2 days, it's true. There's so many reasons why I don't do certain things, and a lot of people don't quite grasp it. Um, but I do things because I have to, and then there's other things that I don't. I don't mind doing the private stuff. It actually keeps the government out of my hair. Um, and I also like to negotiate for people who can't afford, let's say they want a big pyramid, which this is over 5.5 pounds, this one in particular. Some of them are a little lighter, some of them are a little heavier. And this costs over like $15, $16 to ship. I charge $150 for this. People think I'm crazy for charging so cheap because pyramids that are not packed are being cost effective at $350. No, I'm paying. I want to give you the healing. I need to make something from what I put into it. And people, other people put color layers in. This is all gems. This is packed with gems. In the middle is shungite and all the absorption gems. They all have different purposes, all the gems. I give you a whole list of fun, but um I try to negotiate with people if they really can't afford it. I want people to have the healing. I'm about that. I just need some sort of exchange, right? So I negotiate with people. I can't do that if I put it on Etsy and have Squarespace, but I could sell off of there. No, I'm not doing it. Yeah, and other people do charge twice as more, and I think it's a scam. Not to say that epoxy, the 2 gallon epoxy that I have, and I've been very sparingly using it, um, is over $120, which is expensive. I've gotten it a lot cheaper, but a lot of the epoxies color over time. They develop like a browning inside of the epoxy. So I found that this epoxy is that I use, even though it's a bit expensive, it's clear and it stays that way over time. Um, and also it depends what you put it in. You can't just, you could throw a lot of things in epoxy, but some stuff it runs because it heats up and it bonds and everything. So the stuff I use is quality. The gems I use, the process I go through, but I want people to heal. And I know people are pinching for pennies. You like I am myself, right? I don't want to overcharge somebody for my pieces. My drawings, I'm charging for 11 by 14, $75. And that's in hopes that people will come back. Like I'm not charging a painting like $4,000. I'm not doing that. That's 150 because of the shipping. Hi, El Sunray. I see more people are coming in. I'm just talking art, but I had two beautiful conversations I want to talk to everybody about because of what happened on Tuesday. We all woke up and go, holy shit, right? For some of us, and other people were crying and mourning and somber, somber. Being in neutrality is not an easy feat whatsoever. It's not easy being in neutral, seeing both sides. And now we were kind of sort of semi prepared for this, all of you beautiful light beings out there. We were told that eventually we would be the ones. That's right. We would be the ones to help them out. Right? Wake up. Wake up. But that's not really what our purpose actually is. We were told that we were going to be helping the side kind of understand, and that is coming. That's incoming. Get ready, guys. Get ready. This period right now is getting ourselves prepared for that exposure, for the people coming to lean on your shoulder. We're in our practice round right now. Hi, Corrine. I hope I said your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. I butcher names. Go watch a waspy. Um, go and watch other people right now talking about the election and talking about things. It's a little bananas in a good way, but we were told of like 5, 6 years ago that there would be a time that we're going to be the ones that people are going to lean on to get this information. Now it's going about actually doing it. So I'm going to give you guys an example. Today, Even though I live in Indiana, I'm originally from New York, and that was I lived in Staten Island, like with Buckshot, so we know there was a huge Trump following there in Staten Island. It's very Republican, the only Republican borough outright. And then moving here, fuck me. My county is blue. My county is blue, Democrat. So when I went to work the other day, everybody was in mourning and really upset. And oh my God, education is going away. That was the whole day that I had to work through. But today, I got to speak with a woman who's very democratic, who's a beautiful soul, lovely person, just charming, loves books, loves the library like I do, and we have beautiful conversations. And today, both me and her are in very similar financial situations. She is maybe, I want to say 15 years older than me. She's not young. I'm halfway there. And in talking, she's like, well, the guy that came into office now, I don't know where if we're going to even have jobs. They're getting rid of the Board of Education, yada, yada, yada. And I said to her, well, why do you see everything as negative? Why are you looking at the negatives of things? How do you know that's really the agenda behind getting rid of the Board of Education? And she just looked at me puzzled. And they said, hi, Scott. I said to her, hi, Shirley. What if there are people like us, like myself, who will pitch better education for the schools? I said, schools are not going anywhere. Look at the demographic of most towns, especially up in Indiana where Gary is. There's a lot of kids that will not be well established in a homeschool. Home is not a good place for many children, unfortunately. Okay. Now you have to take a bigger picture. You're not now looking at the patriots. You're looking at now everybody, the liberals and the left leaning people who want gender reassignment and all this stuff. Do you really think it's safe for them to be in school or be home? I would prefer them to be in school. As much as they are indoctrinated, it's a lot of these teachers are not even aware that they've been indoctrinated. It's people like me and like many, many other patriots that are in the system. We will be a guideline, a guidance to these people. So in our conversation, I said to her, what? Sorry, I'm still coughing here. What if I was put on a council to say, well, the job that I do requires a lot out of me. I'm changing diapers, I'm getting bit, scratched, hit. I'm multiplying myself by 5. I need 5 of me to do and have this classroom run. And there's only one of me. I'm doing as much as the teacher is doing, besides a lot of paperwork. So why am I not getting paid to that standard? And this is across the board around the country. This is not just Indiana. This is everywhere. When we take those avenues of thinking and apply it to the head said liberal, where they're thinking like the whole system is going to demolish, and he said it can't demolish. The kids still need a building to go to. It's going to go to the states, and it's up to the state to dictate new curriculum, new ways of thinking, going back and reestablishing what is the necessities for a child to learn. Not this fucking, here's an iPad, keep you busy in the back of the room, here's a worksheet. Elementary school kind of works better with that system, sort of, but not. High school should be based on what exposing children to different avenues of different trades. You want to be a teacher? You're interested here? Let's take a little course on that for a trimester. See if you like it. Here's welding. They're implementing it now into the high school here. It's fantastic. There's culinary, there's welding, there's auto mechanics, there's barber school, aesthetic school for hair and nails. These are the things that people need. This is not what the people don't need. This is what kids need. They need options. I was a Zumba instructor. I was a lifeguard. I was a tattoo artist. I did a shit ton of jobs. I'm an artist. I'm this. I'm that. These kids are not exposed to real world jobs. They are not exposed to going out and figuring it out. High school needs to give them financial math, not this fucking fugazi bullshit math that you're never going to use. I am never going to use extensive algebra in my life. Haven't net yet in my life. Education needs to change. And I said that to the lady. I said, it needs to change. These kids are not getting, half of these kids coming out of elementary school, and for here it's fourth grade, they go to an intermediate school, 5, 6, and then they go to junior high school. And this is just in my town. And I said to the lady, I'm like, my ex, the two girls are not on reading level on their grade level. They're way behind. That's a problem. It's not it's the curriculum being forced on these kids. It's not the teachers. They're doing the best that they can. But not all kids read. Some need pictures, some need graphic novels, some doesn't need to know what a predicate in this, what does this mean? Like, the kids need content that grows in their brains. It's bananas. My mother, El Summary, that's very interesting. My mother got a different type of high school diploma when she went to high school. She went to high school in the Bronx. She did secretary work. So her junior and senior year, she actually worked in a couple of firms that hired her after graduating, and they trained her by working. So she, instead of going to school, she worked. She didn't get paid, but she worked, and then they took her on. I think a lot of these schools need to start thinking about, okay, you can work at McDonald's, but you still need to be trained. Not everybody's the fastest typer, but somebody can file really well. Why are the opportunities out there? It's getting the qualifications, even for me now going back and looking at like just retail jobs, is overextensive. You can train anybody to do anything. They just have to have the determination and the heart to go about it. Right? Not everybody's going to know how to assemble a car at a plant, but if you teach somebody step by step, slowly, they'll get it. And if not, that's not their niche. But it's how I deliver that comment to that woman who was on the other side for me politically, that was in fear that shit was going to hit the fan and she's not going to have anything. And I said to her, why are you thinking that way? Because you're allowing other people to dictate to you policy you have nothing to do about. You don't know. You're only listening to one-sided perceptions. It's listen to a sound mind. You're going to have a job and you're probably going to get paid better for it if it's valued. And if they change the system correctly, so that these kids, these teachers get rehabilitated out of the indoctrination stuff. Most of these teachers here do it because they love teaching. That's why they get paid crap, because they love it. They love what they do. They wouldn't, invest, and most of these in New York, you don't really have to invest to get your classroom set up. Here, you have to buy 98% of the materials for your room. It's devastating. And these teachers don't make that much. And yet here they are showing up every day and doing so much extra for these kids. It's because they have the heart to do it. So they just need to be retrained. That doesn't cost them a thing, that they're in it to win a chicken dinner, and that everybody's going to come out educated and happy. This is going to take time. I said to the lady, it's going to take a few years for this to start coming afoot. And that's not just in property tax here just went up a shit ton. I moved here in 2020. I moved into my house 2023. Within 1 year, my house was assessed way higher than I bought the house. And my property tax escalated times 3. So this is why I've been freaking out with how am I eating? What am I doing with my bills? Because not just my property tax inflated, everything else inflated by 5. And with my little $15 an hour job, I'm off on Monday. I didn't get paid. I'm not going to get paid. It's scary. It's scary. And all these places are hiring. They want you to be hired. They like put out, we need people. And yet I'm still sitting here like scratching my head. I put my resume out last year a ton for private school, Catholic school, all types of schools. What with the same job I have now, no one took me. No one even acknowledged me. I'm almost 10 years experience in education in my field. I could go to a YMCA around here. I don't have one in my town, but there's ones around. I don't want to work for them. They're horrible what they did to me. And I'm not saying it was Indiana's wise. They probably function a lot different from New York, but I was treated like shit. So go think what's going on in the state of the world right now. You have fun. But the spiritual stuff that's been coming up for me is how to talk common sense in a smart, witty way without shoving something in their face, making them feel bad that their candidate didn't win, that their way of life is going to be ruined. They're in fear. And what does one do spiritually when somebody's in fear? You're giving them compassion and you're giving them love. They think that way because that is what they heart align with. You have to respect that. Listen, you have to be the better adult. We have to be the models. We have to show physically with actions. You think that all the MAGA people are bad, but in fact, we're not. We're loving, beautiful souls that are just here to try to help you. It's hard when people are those fucking liberals and blah, 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 blah. And the separation and the negativity starts seeping in. We were told a long time ago that many of us were going to be here to help bridge their gaps of understanding, help them shift consciously. And we're in the period now of practicing before the real shit hits the fan. Well, I know my tax dollars in New York went into Bill de Blasio's pocket. $850 million just disappeared out of thin air. Poof. God, I love to be given that back. Damn allergies here. Um, I'd love to get that back. That'd be great. I also was on the phone. This is an interesting conversation I had yesterday. My school nurse from back in the day, school nurse, who's a Republican. Me and her were one of the few in the building because I live now where I worked in Manhattan was 6th Avenue, 17th Street. And I worked near Google. And a lot of my children that were in my building at that time were parents were millionaires plus. Okay. Brownstones. And then some of the other kids were bussed in and shelter kids, not homeless, but sheltered kids, kids that didn't have much. So bananas, okay? We were taught, she called me to actually, this was kind of humbling. She said, Allison, I'm calling you to congratulate you, but also to say, are you a witch? And I said, why do you think that? She goes, no, I know you're not, but you said something in 2016 that blew my mind, and now it's coming to fruition. And I said, what did I say back then? She said, you told everybody that Trump was going to be a two-termed president. You said it. You told everybody like to calm the F down, everything's going to be fine. And it was, except for the COVID and all of that stuff. But she's like, you told a lot of us a lot of stuff that now is coming true. How the hell did you know that? And this is the harder part. She is super Jewish. Republican. Super Jewish. So I have to navigate now talking around a lot without, and there, she's not a conspiracy theorist. She thinks she knows that I am. She calls me the conspiracy theorist. But I said, well, how many conspiracies have what I've said come true? And she said a shit ton. I said, are they conspiracy anymore? She goes, no. So it's really a really good conversation, but also I had to mature my delivery and how to convey Building 7. Okay. She had people there that died. A lot of us that were in the city were affected heavily. And it was how I turned things and put things into perspective for her to like have that epiphany, go, oh, that makes sense. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. But do it in a way that is not going to make her angry or make her want to run the opposite direction. I'm not listening to you. Nah, 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 nah. Right? This is Charlene, this is like the biggest thing that this is the hard part, and this is our practice. Like all the people that are the forefront of way showers, okay? We are the way showers. We have to be mature. Like I have to be Grandma Allie. Why? Because I have to show my wisdom and do it in a way that is not going to turn someone the other way and let them run. The I told you show is showing your ego. You show your ego like, nah, 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 nah. I have a kid that does that in my class. Nah, 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 nah. What does that do? It shoves somebody away. It makes them feel even worse, right? We don't want that. And that can happen in the adult world too. right? Little kids tease each other, but as adults, we have to be the mature ones to step forward to say, look, I understand that you don't feel that this happened, that this is right. You're on the opposite side, and that's okay. I respect you. Here, what you're saying is out of fear because you don't really understand the perception of the other side. You think it's evil, you think they're devils, you think they're this, that, and the other thing, and you're judging. Stop judging. Objectively look at a bigger picture. Instead of thinking negatively, let's consider the positives first. There's good and bad and negative in all things. This is the sign up that we contracted to be in. But when we take the idea, okay, you think that education is going to be wiped out and you're not going to ever have a job. Like, what is going to happen? That is not a realistic expectation. That's not what the right side's talking about. They're talking about deconstructing it. It's going to go back like the Articles of Confederation. It's going back to the states. Now, if you are that passionate about education, wouldn't you want to stand up and actually the people that really know what they're talking about when it comes to a teacher and a teaching role, wouldn't you want to go in front of your council and say, well, this is not working in my classroom, but here's what does. And let's write curriculum based upon what is working and what the results are of testing. What's the results of these kids comprehending life? Hi, Thomas. Hi, Keb. Yes, we need the Articles of Confederation back. But here's the sad part. I know I have grandma hair. I got grandma teeth too. I have my teeth. Um, we have to consider the idea that these people are still in fear. We have to feed them the stuff that we know in a constructive way. That is not going to push them away and that is not going to make them worse off. You got to remember the train station for the negative polarity is over here, the positive is over here, and this is the choosing time. You have to choose a service to others and a service to self. Most people are going on the service to others train. How can you service others with your ego so inflated that you're only looking at the people that are in similarity to you? You're not looking at the other side. You think they're evil. They're not. They're just misled, misguided, misinformed. And even on our side, we've been misled, misinformed, carrot dangling on a stick. Right? Everybody's like, oh, Allison, can you wait for Nasera to happen? Well, if I did that, 2 years ago, I would have been homeless. And the same thing I could say for now. I still have to wait until January 20th, and then maybe 5, 6 months from there, things might get better. But until then, I still have to eat, I still have bills to pay, I still have to live in the matrix. Ah, but do we have a cabal train to hop on, or is it that you are creating your own reality at every moment of the second of the day in your collective unconscious, and it's time for you to untap out of the collective unconscious? You caught those carrots for carrot cake, Buckshot. And one day I'm gonna have a slice. I love carrot cake. Love, 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 love. People are going to be scared because this is what they're watching television. Let's just say Viking was like, oh, there's this new mini wing 300 Win Mag house, and look how pretty this is. I'm like, it is damn pretty. It's sexy. It goes boom, boom, really very big boom booms. Um, but I said to him, in what reality do you think there will be a civil war? And I don't think there's going to be one. Maybe not now, but I mean, I love firearms, but you got to choose. Yes, Thomas, absolutely. You have to choose your maturity level and how you're going to project to be a service to others. We were told, I'm going to continue to say this, there's a bunch of spiritual people out there, even the political people, that said we're going to be the ones that convey the truth to this side. It is up to us with the two examples in the last 2 days. Seriously, the last 2 days, even my cousins, my second cousins, they live in the Bronx. They love Trump. They voted for Tina 40. They're amazing. I love my cousins. But they too are so asleepies. They took this. I yelled at them, but now I saw it's a choice. They had a choice. They made it, and that's their consequence. That's their soul contract. This is God working through each and every one of us, and we have to own that now. Own the fact that all that is, the quantum physics of entanglement to energy, is now in your responsible hands. How you use that energy and where you place and feed it to is up to you. I can't change you. I can't change you. But what will change in time, what's going to change in time is that the political truth is going to start spewing out. The alien stuff is going to start spewing out slowly. I don't think it's going to be right away direct. And that's only because there's a Granada Treaty-esque thing I'm picking up on. Bashar was one of the first people to like show their true colors. Um, I would say if you're consciously aware of a higher truth, you're evolved. And many of us came back here to help the evolution of this planet. We already been here, done that multiple times. And we have to come in with this wisdom and this maturity level that I'm hoping more people start modeling and spreading. And having compassion, because that's fourth density. I'm sorry, everybody that wants this brand new shift in this brand new world isn't going to have it if you cannot have unconditional love for others. They're your other selves. All the people that you hate, you despise, you can't stand. There's a reason for that. That's God having experience through them. Source, infinite creator, the infinite intelligence, whatever you want to label it as. Those people have a purpose and serve one, and that's for you. This is the biggest conundrum a lot of people can't get past. How do you give unconditional love to a pedo? I don't condone their actions. I don't like what they do. I'm not for it, and I'm not feeding their energy for it. But am I a lawyer? Am I a police officer? Am I somebody that can do something? I can do something small, but on a bigger scale, no, not really. So I don't feed it my energy. All the hate I see in chats, still, it still exists. We all need wood chippers. I love the wood chipper thing. I used to partake in the wood chipper fun. But that's still, if these people didn't do their fuckery, we wouldn't be awake. The biggest task that we are being asked to do right now is to go within and also to understand what you are. I just said it. Take responsibility that you create your reality. And unbeknownst to you, unconsciously, all of us collectively make it so that you have fun little inventive things that we can create. This came from here, came from my hands. I created that. I am a creator. All of you do the same thing. You're creating. Own it. Nothing is outside of you. It's all within you. The same with the other side. Um, yeah, I'm just reading the chat, guys. Um, I'm noticing, I mean, I'm not home enough to watch the daily stuff, but we all need to be in a space of being mindful and being living in the moment. It took me years to catch myself saying certain things that I wasn't even consciously aware of. And I didn't take other people's feelings into consideration. Now, I walked in on Wednesday, literally all in black, because that's for me a neutral color. And I had people like devastated. I walked into the same situation in New York in 2016. 2016, I walked in Manhattan and there were people crying in Union Square. Crying. Devastated. How could he win? Oh my God. The world is going to end. And it never ended and things were fine. People take politics way to an extreme that they shouldn't. I said to my teacher today, because I worked with the one that was upset on what I work in a different classroom on Fridays. And I said, is everything okay? I'm checking in with you. And she goes, yeah. The psychics had it wrong. And I said, no, they didn't. They just read a different potentiality, reality on a different timeline. And humanity chose this one. It's okay. You're going to be fine. You're a terrific teacher. Your heart is in the right place. You just need to understand you have to let go of certain misconceptions you've been told. You don't have to like him. You don't have to be for him, but you have to understand the rhetoric, the propaganda that's been spewed. This is very much like North Korea. Just it feels free, sounds free, but it ain't. The alien agenda, and now I'm being channeled, sorry. Gonna jump a million different directions here. Bashar said to us that if she were to win, that we would have disclosure. And that if he won, the United States would be dissolved and we would have civil war. I think the entity that's being channeled through Daryl is evil? Not at all. I think he has amazing sound advice. What he did do was infringe on freedom of the will. He infringed. But was that a test? We elected a president of the corporation. The corporation back in 20 whatever was under Chapter 11 bankruptcy in South Florida. There's paperwork and everything. Oh, yeah. I did a TikTok on that Bashar. I did a commentary on it. I didn't play it because I will not do that. That's frequency no one else needs to hear unless you're interested in hearing it objectively. He said that if the woman won, we would get disclosure. Alien disclosure. Now, if you read Reconstructing Reality by Suzanne Lai, we already know that you have to raise your frequency within your body to see aliens because they're here and they've been here. What disclosure are you talking about? Oh, the Anunnaki's here to claim their humanity back? Those are our other selves. I can tell you now, people have seen my eyes shift. I am probably also Lyran, but also Draconian. I'm probably a Draconian. Who knows? That's probably why I got a picture of one. I'm not afraid of being that because I know in a higher density, they're not what is projected here. There's a lot of people out there who cannot go into neutrality to see above the separation and limitation we placed on ourselves. When you can remember what you are on a bigger scale, a lot of that stuff kind of dissolves and moves away from you. And it's not coming from an ego spot to say that you are an angel or an archangel, or that's just honestly, that's not even a high totem pole. That's just if we look in at densities and scales, that's sixth. Rishis, Dahin Kohans, that's probably seventh density, maybe. I mean, there's good and evil in third density, and we're now trying to escape that. We got to play it out, and this is the density of choice. When you start remembering what you are, you have a choice. You can go on this train or you can go on that train, and the train is no longer going to stop at stations so you can have different experiences. You're on the train and you're not getting off. So it's up to you which there's no wrong path either, by the way. There is no path. In the law of one, Ross states, after sixth density, the negative polarity has to polarize positive. It's a harder experience for them. But they are going to transform into the light beings that they were meant to be. Ann Tucker, who channels angels, has said it. These people that are so low vibing, low states of being, they have the undershirt with the shirt, with the sweatshirt, with the flannel, with the bubble jacket, with the millions of layers. So the light can't penetrate them. It takes a long time for that light to finally seed into them. Does it make them all evil? Yes. Um, we are going into the new epoch. It's up to us when to jump as a collective. Um, we can't we can do it individually on our soul individual timelines. We could shift, and a lot of us have been shifting. I know a few people can see what's going on behind me. They're seeing glitches, they're seeing warping in the books. The people are seeing entities behind me, they're seeing eyes, orbs, all kinds of shit. Now, did I, unbeknownst to me, open up a Stargate? It's supposed to be outside. It's not supposed to be in my house. Maybe I do open portals unbeknownst to me, unconsciously. A lot of shit formulates in my brain. Um, I know a lot of us have been waking, I know for myself, I've been waking up between 2, 3, 4, 5. I wake up for 5 for work. But a lot of us are waking up at different times in the middle of the early morning going, what the fuck? I got a glimpse multiple times that I have been doing that during the years that I've been working on the quantum entanglement of the grid of where we're supposed to go. So I'm working on fourth density, fifth, and sixth density. My light body. I'm being projected out. I'm going out. I'm working. And then I wake up and that sudden, oh crap, what time is it? You fuck me. I'm tired. Um, that's me working. That's many of you working. It's all perception. It's all perception. What is a Pleiadian? It's another aspect of us. It's a fractal of our soul in another entity. That's all it is. And some of our fractals are playing on the evil side, some of them are playing on the light side. But at the end of the day, past sixth density doesn't necessarily matter. It's all light anyway. We're so stuck in polarity here. We can't, a lot of people can't experience for themselves what they are in a higher time. A lot of us have been traveling in our sleep. Um, I don't always know that I'm doing it. The last couple of times I have not. I just wake up and I'm like, oh, what is going on? But I get glimpses of what I'm doing in my light body. Ask your higher self to show you. You would like to see it. And eventually you might be able to get a little snapshot of you connecting a string of entanglement to you. This is the hard part to think about. We have to manifest the reality that we choose. We got to collectively do this. I can jump to fifth density and say, I'm going to be a light being. I am not taking physical form. And I'm going to jump to 6, 7, because that's where I know where my consciousness belongs. Some people are going to go to 4 and stay there for a very long time. Some of us are going to bypass 4, go straight to 5, 6, bypass 6, go to 7. It's up to your soul in your contract. And there's a lot of unknowns in that because we're not there yet to understand it. It would impede in our free will to know. I have an inkling that I'm skipping a lot. That's just me. But there's no right or wrong. It's what your soul signed up for and what it needs for ultimate soul growth. That's the beautiful part. And all energy is entangled to an extent. So you're never going to lose the people that you're stuck in not detaching from here. You're always attached. You're attached more than some others. But your family, your kids, your pets, they're all entangled to you. You know, that's interesting because I love storms. I'm a big weather weenie. I watch Ryan Hall, y'all. Yeah, I felt that too. I think I got that right here. I watched Ryan Hall, y'all. I know there's a big snowstorm going on in New Mexico where some of you are at, Mr. Keb. And I don't know if Scott has snow by him. I have a friend in Colorado that is like, I can't go to work. There's 2 feet of snow on the ground. Hi, legit. I need glasses so bad. I have to see if Dina has readers for me. That might help. I don't know. I got my sage. See, I don't like snow. I need it. Well, first of all, I need a truck to drive in it. I don't have a truck. I have a shit little 14-year-old shit box that ice skates down the road. Not looking forward to this winter at all. What is up, my friends? I watch Max Velocity and I watch Ryan Hall. Those are the two. And then I watch Vince Welty, Brian Kopic, Corey Gherkin. Those are like the major ones that I watch, but I watch a lot of different storm chasers depending where they are. Um, like the hurricane thing that I put out a couple of months ago with Milton and Helene. I don't just do that for the major storms. I do that for all storms. I try to go in and be like Storm from the Marvel movies and help that situation. That coffee is helping me. Yeah, I've been trying to alchemize my see, I don't want to call it lack because I don't feel like I'm in lack. I work really hard for what I do. I help a lot of people, whether they want to admit it or not. And the energy exchange in what I do for others isn't necessarily there. Slowly but surely, I think it will. It depends. The last 2 winters have been pretty delicious. Um, the year I moved here, the snow was really bad. I Christmas was shit. I was really afraid to even leave the hotel room. Um, Jason and Dina made me steak for Christmas and had to deliver it to me because there was no way I was leaving that hotel room. It was really, really cold too. Really, really bad. Drifting is fun, but here the drivers here suck. It's not as bad as New York, but the speed limit is different here. So everybody's speeding around and like racing with their little hot souped up cars. Not fun. All the negative energy needs to leave. Only positive energy and light may stay. I'm shocked the cats aren't down here. Oh, I can't know which one it is. Is that I think Frey is sleeping on the beanbag. Let's see how long this goes for. So the TikToks I've been putting out have been really explicit. And a lot of people have been agreeing that we are now here to move forward. And what does that look like? Yeah. Um, so I have a picture. If I find it, I will show it. These bookshelves have traveled with me from New York to here, and almost all the books. And I've had some demonic things pictured coming out of some of the oh no, coming out of some of the books. I also don't know the history of this house. Only love and light may enter my house. Anything that's negative, get the fuck out. Um, okay, it's on the floor and it's out. You see, I had to live off of credit cards when I lived in New York, and that's what I've been trying to pay off and try to pay down until the inflation hit. And then everything I budgeted for when I bought this house went within a year and a half. And that's, me helping other people financially, helping a lot of people. I help people. When I have it, I help. And um I brought a lot of things probably. I mean I took the Stargate energy with me. The Stargate isn't here, but the energy of me creating one is. All right, hang on. I'm gonna see if I have pictures. I'll talk as I look. Um, Crazy. The energy that was in my old house was demonic, but also good. I had good and bad coming out of my portal. Good and bad. There wasn't oh boy. I have pictures of me when I was 97 pounds. I am not getting there. Nope, not allowing it. See if it's under this tab. Um, I'm trying to find the Native American photo I have. I have the alien one. We can go back. What is this? No, that's not mine. Yeah, so as I'm looking for that, I'm also not I'm kind of ignoring the negative. I could sage all day and have Palo Santo. They're there for a reason. We create them. We create them though. That's the problem. We create the demons. They're our own creations. The problem is people unbeknownst to them project, well, maybe some of them project them, announced to them, but people project aliens. People project them at other people. That's why a lot of us light workers are heavily under attack a lot, is because they want your light. They don't want you to shine. They are catalysts for you to overcome the evil. What is a negative alien teaching you? That a part of your soul is a part of their paradigm too. It's not in there. Oh, wait a sec. I don't know if you guys can see that, but in the books, there's a tongue right here. There's the horns right here, right here. There's an eyeball and an eyeball. That's coming out of my bookshelf. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's a demon. This is a little portion of a picture in my mirror that's this big that I captured all of this shit in it. There's an image right here with you know those tragedy masks? There's a little alien buddy down here. That's a reflection in my mirror. So this is when this is I'm going to see if I have other ones. This is before, sorry, recapitulating my mirror. There we go. Like magic. That I took before I went to the very first medium back in 2012, 13. Before I knew about my galactic side, before I knew I had a medium issue, like I knew I had ghosts. I was seeing shit my whole life, but I didn't know what was coming out of my mirror, which was not necessarily a mirror. It was the Stargate. Did not know it was a Stargate until before I moved. And I took a lot of pictures because I didn't know what to do, how to express to anybody like here, I'm taking pictures. I don't know what to tell you. And I lost a lot of photos along the way. Um, I lost a lot of, I didn't lose it. It's around somewhere. I just have to go find it. But a lot of them are stuck in my Facebook photos. If any of you are on my Facebook, they're dug in there. They're there. Yes, Thomas, everybody does deserve love. I agree with that statement. And when you feed the negative energy love, they don't want that. It repels them. It's like magnetism. They like, adios. Adios. Goodbye. So it is a very important thing to, in the moment of time, to be very aware of how you are going about telling the truth. I don't know where my Native American one is. I save a lot of pictures. But where is it? I have this really cool one. I had one of those box televisions, the black and white ones from the 80s. And I still had it in my room before my mom died. And when I took a picture, I literally had a Native American's face project out. It was really the coolest thing ever. It was one of the best pictures I ever caught on my phone. And I can't find it. But I have, and this is the thing, like I am showing you tangible proof if you have the eyes to see that I'm not talking out of my ass about my abilities or about what I see and what I don't, and what I know to be there. It's not here. I will find it. I will show it on another one. The the Curtises go into what hell is and what heaven really is. It's just states of consciousness of being. So when our physical vehicle dies, we're going to go into whatever paradigm you chose. Some people see the tunnel, some people see the light, some people see different things. Not everybody's going to have the same experience. And when you go, you're going to go into wherever your light goes. If you read Pista Sophia, I believe this very much so, you're going up the elevator until you can't handle the frequency and the light anymore because light blinds. You're only going to go where your body can maintain, your light body, your etherical body is going to maintain the frequency. If it goes too high and you can't stand it, you're going to get off, and that's where you're going to be. A lower vibratory person who's stuck in narcissism, ego, anger, hate, resentment, they're going to not rise that far. And they're going to potentially be in a place where they're going to have to learn all the shit that they did, understand that they have a higher self, that there is God, there is a all that is energy that they need to achieve and obtain. And eventually they get out of that Dante's Inferno spiral. You can go as low as you want to go, or you can go as high as you want to go. It's up to your soul and your energy to project you to where you're going to go. The beautiful thought part about this density is that you have a choice in the next two cycles, fourth density cycle and fifth density cycle, whether you want to be the villain or you play the negative polarity or you want to play the positive polarity. That's up to you. It all ends up back at source anyway. That's what we need to try to really hone in on now. And how do you do that? By your works. Yeshua talks about your works and doing and being there. Do you think Yeshua walked the desert and walked through to get to India, and there's a bunch of different religions and different types of people that he passed on his journeys back and forth? Do you really think he cared what they believed in or what deity they were serving? If he was teaching the authentic law of one and understood it for what it is, You love everybody, you love your neighbor, like you love yourself. Going into self-love is what is needed. Going into neutrality is a lot harder, but it's achievable. When you can understand that God's on both sides, God doesn't have a polarity. God's not good or evil. It's energy. There's a positive pole and a negative pole in this dimensional space in the time continuum. You detach your biases, your beliefs, your programming, your narratives, see a bigger picture objectively, and then you choose, oh, well, that is serving me. This is what I align with my heart space with. I'm going to go over here. But I'm still going to love these people because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be awake. Now it's how do we move forward? The test now is, are you really a compassionate, loving person to aid the other side, to show them? And they're not going to be so receptive. They're going through the mourning phase, right? When someone dies, we go through phases. Some of us hit them in different points. It doesn't all happen in the same succession. Some people are grieving and mourning right now. It's not the best time to be attacking them, calling them names, and making them feel like shit. We shouldn't be doing that anyway. They're allowed to have their perception just like you are. They're allowed to feel the way they want to feel. It's up to us to be the compassionate, empathetic, beautiful souls that we are, to say, here's my hand, here's my shoulder, here's my hug. I'm here for you. Let's talk some sense when you're ready. I have family members that, I don't have parents. I have a father I don't talk to. A biological dad didn't raise me, wasn't in my life, still isn't. He says hi every once in a while. I don't call. Not sorry, Dad, not really interested. I have biological family and I have adoptive family, and I don't really speak to too many of them. So, holiday times and stuff, it's lonely, it sucks, but I'm used to it. If they're not meant to be in my life, they're not going to be in my life. They served a purpose. They showed me what I don't prefer in a family dynamic, in behavior that I should not accept, I don't deem worthy of my time, and they're gone. I still love my family. I still have great memories with them, and that's what I'm going to hold in my heart space. But for the choice for them not to talk to me, to help me, to do what a family member should do by their other family member, I'm not going to hold it against them. They have really strong belief systems in the other side. I'm not taking it away from them. When they're ready to call me like a mature adult that they are, they will call me. If not, I'll salute to you. I'm not going to cry over it. It's not spilled milk that I'm going to clean up. I'm just not. Yes, Thomas. Now you see, Thomas, this is where a lot of people get stuck with the Christ stuff, because I did too at one point. Because I'm not in a religious paradigm. I did not read the Bible. I did not understand when people are talking about Jesus. Obviously, his name is not Jesus. He doesn't like to be called Jesus, by the way. That's Yeshua talking. The component of what Christ actually is up for debate. Is it an office? Most likely. There is structure in the higher densities. There is what we would deem governmental positions, and because you have your angels, you have your archangels, there is a hierarchy. There's different types of angels. There's different types of archangels. Everybody has a specific specialty to their little nook. as we do as humans. Like I'm really good at educating children, but I'm also good at making artwork. I have a lot of facets I'm great at. And so does everybody else that is watching. You have knacks and niches that only you can do in your beautiful frequency. And that's the things that we need to find and that we need to display. There are so many of us that have multi-talents, and we're supposed to be spreading that out to people using our frequency. That's why I don't charge an arm and a leg for my artwork, because I want people to get the healing, the protection from my stuff. I don't want people to go without that. And if that is a permission slip for you to use a pyramid to feel something, that's a great permission slip. Everybody has different permission slips for them to invoke healing, to invoke protection, to invoke self-worthiness. There's different things that people do in this world that will help others. We got to come together now to collectively put it all together and move it forward. Thomas, you need to do that. That's your gift. Go for it. It's a beautiful thing. My calling. Okay, that was a cat and not something behind me in the shadow form. I thought I saw a shadow figure. That's Odin. Okay. Ooh, I saw a tail. I saw something behind me really quick. I'm like, uh-oh. Um, that's I got my calling to do YouTube a year before I started. I didn't know where to start, how to start. I just did videos. And this is when I learned Zoom through work. And because of work, I learned how to use a lot of technology that I wouldn't have otherwise um, have done. My dad listened to jazz and he was a Republican. My mother was a Democrat and my father was a Republican. So I have the insanity of that is I have the middle way view. I've always taken the middle route because there's things on the left side that I do align with. There's stuff on the right side that I align with, and there's stuff in the middle side that breaches all here's logic and reason. Let's combine both and let's come together kind of stuff. That's really the crux of where we should be at. When you are in a relationship, whether it be a friendship, a family member, a spouse, you're going to have to, at some point in your relationships, kind of come in and compromise. And that's the lack of what this country has gone so far off the wheels with, is not coming to a compromise where everybody's happy with something. You're not going to make everybody happy no matter what side you're on. But when you can come into the middle ground and look at both sides and rationally do things from a middle way point of view for everybody's best interest, not just one side, you're going to have more unity in that. And that's where I think a lot of our country's issues have come, besides being infiltrated by communists and people that we don't prefer. this time of now is showing us what we don't prefer. And now we're starting to enter the prefer portion of this reality. What do we prefer? What do you prefer? Where are you feeding your energy? I think a lot of us at this point know within our own selves, we got to grab that other side. We got to give compassion and hold space for our buddies on the left. Will there be fuckery? Will there be things? It's up to us to not create it and put that energy out there. If anything, this taught us how to manifest what we prefer as a collective. If we focus, all of us have been focused in different arenas, but we have a commonality that we all focus on one result to happen. Now that it finally has happened, now we have to manifest what we prefer over what we don't prefer. Hitting a timeline twice isn't a bad thing. Um, Sometimes I've done this a few times. I've reached a timeline that was at the time in the moment of that now, my highest and greatest. Something in my paradox changed to lower me to a different timeline, not that I was on before, but then eventually I changed the direction of my thinking and I went back up into the original timeline that I was on my highest and good in that moment. It's weird, but we've been there. Yes. Yes. And James Rink did on his Super Soldier Talk with Oksana. Oksana does a lot of remote viewing, and she I like her because she said, I'm only picking up on potentialities. Bashar says it too, which is a little freaky that he would make a prediction. He's like, there's nobody who has it 100% right. And the people that are prophets and are seers are seeing potentialities in future timelines. But there is no time. It's an illusion. So we're picking up on potentialities of future lives, of future, in our comprehension, future, what future is to us, our other selves. The multiverse is so vast and infinite. The new earth is already created. We're already there. We're already dead in spirit, looking back at these bodies, going, what the fuck? We're already in our oversoul, having different experiences and different fractals and different timelines and different delineations of different things. There is no wrong. If people want to project there's a flat earth, there is a flat earth, because that's a reality they created. If people want to believe in a globe, that's a reality that they manifested for themselves, and that's their belief. So that's what's being projected out to them. It's all perception. You create your reality. Your thoughts become things. So we got to use our thoughts now in a matured way to make the new timelines. And that's what a lot of us are actually creating, is the higher timelines. The potentialities of each of those timelines, a lot of us have been for millennium doing. We do need to spread the peace. This is our time to unify. We need unity. Consciousness cannot happen if it's only one side creating it. It's all sides that create it. That's God itself. needing to have everybody come into unity. We can't come into unity if we're not peaceful beings. If we're spreading judgment and hate because they wanted Kamala, they believe in X, Y, and Z. A lot of these people don't realize the propaganda they've been fed. A lot of these younger children or the kids in the mid-20s, I experienced this on, was it Tuesday? Tuesday. I had a professional development and I didn't have to do any kind of mandatory stuff. So I did crystal bowl meditation, how to write a book. In one of those classes, there was a kid, a young kid who was very fed in the LGBTQ, very one side, and spoke like the robot that I thought he would. I went to school, I went to art school, and that was a big population in my school, and they all spoke the same rhetoric with the same vocabulary words, tones. It's robotic. The art language is robotic. And I refuse to go into that mindset. I am so upset, Kev, because my dad had an extensive jazz collection and CDs. He might have had over 5,000 CDs of jazz. Yes, El Sunray. Yes, it is a cave. That's why the first Hermit's Journey, I did Plato's allegory of the cave. That was the first thing I read because it is the truth. Where are we seeking now to get? Are we coming out of the cave to see the reflection in the water to then see reality for what it is? Or we're going to go back into the cave in fear? Some people go into the cave to self-reflect, to take space, to go into their hermitum, because there's a bigger, vaster universe within themselves they need to explore. Many of us had that opportunity during COVID to go within. I've been going within for a very long time because I've been in many points of isolation, being bullied as a kid, not being understood. My parents didn't understand me. So I was left to my own mind most of my life. Sleazy vapes, I don't know. This is tobacco. Um, Interesting. The name sounds familiar, but no. You gotta start putting the light on, mister. Calling you out. That's the thing that a lot, like right now, I can choose to turn my light down and wallow in the what ifs. For me right now, I'm trying to be in the perseverance mindset of I'm not here to suffer anymore. I'm here to be a light to the world and to humanity. How do I do that? Slowly but surely. But in the meantime, you still have to sustain and maintain some semblance of 3D. You're still here. You're not leaving. We're not going tomorrow. The flash of light comes. You're still here in your 3D body. 3D is still going to be playing out in the theater near you. Yes, Charlotte, see, I got that firsthand experience in New York when I worked in a school and I had a child who had two moms. I had kids that had two dads. And I didn't understand it. And I'm not opposed to it because I also worked with somebody that was trans. I had friends who were in the LGBTQ community. I love them. They're amazing, smart, moralistic, ethical people, right? The medium I first went to, the very first one, she was an old grandma. She had to be 70 years old. She was the cutest little thing. You wanted to take her home. She was amazing. And she said to me, the one thing you got to understand is that God is going to test you in ways and test your soul in so many ways. People are choosing these extremes for compassion and teaching others. Love is love. It's about how far out in JQ public do we express that kind of love, right? You want to go home and you're a guy and you want to put a bra and girl panties on, do you, boo? Be happy. If that's what makes you happy, great. But please don't impose that on anybody else. That's your choice. That's your self-expression. Have fun with that. I don't judge. That's what makes you happy, great. But don't impress that on little kids. They can shape their own opinions, and when they get to that legal age, they can make choices. But until then, you should be respectful. And that should be everybody's walking manner. Be respectful. Do unto others as you want to be done to you. If you're a shitty person, you're going to reflect that shitty behavior back to people. I happen to be one of those empathic people that is a mirror. I mirror people's behavior back to them. I embrace my shadow. I could see you next Tuesday all day long, but I'm still love and light. But I don't take anybody's shit. And I know a lot of people like that. I know a lot of trans people. I know a lot of people who the medium explained it to me this way. I don't think she's wrong in this analogy either. There's more complication to it. So when you're upstairs in the pool with Source, waiting to be, you volunteered to come and give an experience, teaching learnings to others. You choose your parents, you choose your religion, you choose your country, you choose your language, your everything. You choose it all. Sometimes there's complications in that process of choosing that you chose the wrong sex. Your soul is too polarized to one sex than the other. And then as the soul's maturing in the body, there's confusion. Within that confusion, the soul and the mind can't delineate. And this is where the community comes from. What makes it more extreme is the propaganda. Because I could tell you now, a lot of my friends in New York who are of the LGBTQ community denounce the propaganda and the crap that's being spewed to people. And they're like, this is not me. This is not what I represent. Sorry, I might be gay, but no. I save that stuff for the bedroom. I don't bring that out in front of people. I go to work. I'm a solid person. I'm happy in my relationship, and that should be accepted. What I don't like is this shit being given to kids that doesn't need to be. He's like, in my time, he's my age. I didn't grow up with all these books and all this literature. I just had a feeling I was different, didn't know really how to express it. And until I hit puberty and it kept growing. I tried dating women and tried and just didn't click. My heart resonates more with men. And that's the hard part. It's it You have to detach. This is a hard part. When it's like people in your own family, they're there as a catalyst. So take everything that triggers you and take it as a catalyst of learning. What did you learn from that? What you don't prefer. It doesn't need to be so complicated, right? If someone believes so in depth that there's something and their outside world is showing it, but their inside world, when they go home in their private quarters, are doing something completely different, that's an inauthentic person. There's a lot of that running around right now. They don't have to be gay either. There's a lot of people that are very inauthentic, that tell you one thing, but don't walk the walk and talk the talk to have the experience to give you the wisdom. A lot of people talk right out of their assholes. Zero experience in subject matter. I was going to hold off on saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway because this is how I feel and what I'm being channeled. Just because you post Dolores Cannon videos, right? I'm not implying anybody here. Does it mean that you actually believe what she's saying and incorporate it in your everyday life? If you're going to post that time is an illusion, that one topic alone, then why are you feeding so much hate into the world and yet saying I'm love and light? Can't be love and light if you hate everything, because you are everything. You can't hate if you want to shift. This is the hardest lesson that everybody's going to learn, and it's one that sucks. You got to take that disgust, that angry feeling within you, and transmute it. There are going to be things you do not prefer, right? Sparkle farts. Sparkle farts. Sparkle farts. You got to take the hate out of all things and just replace it with I don't prefer that. I don't condone that. I'm not feeding my energy to that anymore. But in the same token, you're giving unconditional love, not falsely. That takes time. Working a month, and this is the biggest lesson living in New York. The biggest amazement of my lifetime was living in a place where it's the melting pot of the world. You can't not find any one culture. Almost every culture, besides maybe a few, like tribal Amazonian people, are not living in New York City. But there's so many people from different countries, cultures, and derivatives that live in New York City. I've been exposed to so many different things. And at the end of the day, when 9/11 happened, it didn't matter that moment, that time, in frame and scope of that time period. Those buildings went down and so many people went to aid others. It didn't matter. No one showed, oh, I'm a man with a brawn. No one cared if you're gay or straight. No one cared if you're a black or white, Muslim or Jewish. If you were in need, people were helping you. Same thing with North Carolina and Florida and tornadoes. When something happens, no one's knocking on your door to ask you for your ID and your life story. If you're in need, people are going to give because that's what humans do. At the end of the day, you are a human. You are a spirit inhabiting a vehicle that is human, we call human. That's why doing the work on yourself comes first. Going into your isolation space, going inside yourself to actually ask yourself the deepest, hardest questions is what's needed right now. And it's been since I made this channel. Biggest promotion of self-work. Ask yourself the why questions. Why did this happen to me? Why did I contract this asshole to come into my life? What were they there to teach me? What was the lesson that I learned? Why do I have a disease? What is it within my ethereal DNA that I need to release? These are not easy 1 day, 1 second moment questions that are going to be answered. This takes time. It took me time to go through my life to ask myself, well, why was I adopted? Why did I pick this family to be incarnated in and live experience with? It's multifaceted. It has a lot of different answers to those questions. I incarnated at the time that I did because my adopted parents were buying the property where the Stargate was. My soul knew that I had to wait to calm down for the moment of that time. Because if I didn't, that Stargate would have been still like Ghostbusters. I held back a lot of crap from coming out. Some people do to reconnect to humanity. We all have a purpose and a reason of being here. Mine was mind-blowing. I'm not special though, because I'm not the only one that holds a frequency key to a Stargate, and it's a minor one, it's not a big one. I don't know if I want that responsibility. When before my medium died, I have two now that are upstairs. One just recently passed away, but when I had a message with him with my guides, and I asked, I'm from the Archangel Collective, and I'm one of them. And he gave me that, holy crap, yeah. I'm from Yeshua's bloodline. Yeah. You know, it's a big burden. It's a responsibility that carries a lot of weight. They won't tell me which one. They probably will never until I ascend, because that would infringe in my free will and that would feed my ego. All of you are in a collective of some sort, whether it be a Rishi, whether it be a Daihan Kohan, whether it be an Ascended Master, whether it be Archangel, the Council of Nine, the Social Memory Complex of Ra, Quetzalcoatl, the Norse. It all is one. It's just what fractal you have within you and how that pie chart. I've always talking about this stupid pie chart, and I'm going to draw it out for you guys. This is bothering me. Light codes and downloads. So light codes are here to help your ethereal strands open up. So instead of being 2-strand DNA, you're going to be 12-strand, 48-strand, and all in between that. And the activations that we are receiving from upstairs, and it's not just the aliens giving, that's a misperception. They're aiding us because we are them, they are us. There are other selves. Like I said, I'm not just one faction of Starseed. It's whatever in the coding that is giving my memory an illumination, and now I'm thinking I'm just Palladium. No, you're not just Palladium. Many of us are, but many of us are Arcturians, Venusians. You're from Boots, Alpha and Beta Centauri. And now, do these aliens really call their world that? I mean, if you look in the Bible, Job has it, Pleiades and Orion. Where did those names come from? One can only know. Oh, thank you, Grunt Style, for the text message. So pie chart. So Archangel. Ascended Master. Artist. Mystic. What else? See, now I'm channeling, I'm asking. Damn. There's some things that might be spelled wrong on here, and I'm probably sure that's backwards on your camera. But I have my pie chart, Archangel, and then I have Ascended Master, Mystic, Witch, Lyran, Oversoul, Palladian, Artist. This is just an example. So I might have more Archangel in me in this body, but I also know that when I'm channeling and I'm connecting with Quo, who's from the social memory complex of Ra, that I'm a part of that complex as well. I don't know what density yet. I know I have artists channeling through me. It doesn't need to be one, it could be multiple. The Christian mystics, the Curtises, I could be channeling one of them. That could be me with a little fractal of my soul in there. You're so diverse, and all of us have different fractals of different things that inhabit us. So this lifetime, I chose to be an artist. So I'm going to have an artist come through me. Tesla wanted to be a scientist. What did Tesla do? He has beings that are engineers and that are experts channeling through him, that are him. All of you have different things that compose you at different intervals. That's the beautiful aspect of your soul. It's infinite. And we're all composed of different pie chart avenues. So if I had, where is my fun? I have fun markers. Hang on. I'm going to grab them. Maybe color might help. Mr. Sketch. These are the best markers ever. They smell really good, even though they're not the old school. I love Mr. Sketch. It smells cherry. It smells so delicious. Yes. The Akash is very interesting. The Akash is a book of collective unconscious memories, but when it comes to the future stuff, once again, if someone is reading my Akashic records, very hard for somebody to do. They're picking up on potentialities of a timeline that I might inhibit. A higher percentage, but if I change or choose to make a different pathway for myself, that's going to be next. Time is all concurrently happening in this very moment. So we are technically living out Lemuria, Tartaria, Mu, Lemuria, Atlantis. I know I'm repeating myself. The Titans, we're living out everything as if it's happening now. It's just in a dimensional space that we cannot perceive or comprehend to know that is even there. I'm still drawing, guys. And yes, if we want to pluck in a personality, we can. The caveat to that is that there is negative thought forms in the lower fourth astral, which is here now. That's probably why a few of you are seeing a lot of shit behind me, because we are in the astral. Unfortunately, Mr. Sketch doesn't have a lot of colors that I can use. I'm missing my orange one. That's red. I want my orange one. It smells so good. Okay, for time's sake here. Pie chart. All we need is love. Do, 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 do. All we need is love. Yeah. All we need. So that's your pie chart. And there might be little tiny lines of stuff that you inhabit. Little tiny. Teeny tiny. Teeny, 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 tiny. But it's how we go about walking this knowledge forward. Dolores Cannon talked about the split of the new earth. And now that we're evolving into that state, okay, is it a physical shift? Is it a conscious shift? As I drop 1,000 cards on the floor. Wonderful. Not 1,000. A lot. What could we do? more of us have to get into that love frequency, Charlene. That's it's a capability that a lot of people have. A lot of people have that potentiality, but they need to actually feel it, walk it, emote it, and be it. I know that I shifted to this person that a few years ago I said, fuck you, asshole. I'm not going to kill you because I didn't get a vaccine. Fuck you for thinking, for fearing, thinking that I was going to do something harmful to you. Fuck you. Now, if that's what you wanted to do, God bless. If that's your call and choice, amazing. I'm happy for you. If that's what makes you feel safe and secure, I'm all for it. Thank you. It took a lot in me to mature that. To see people die for taking something. That's your choice. I that's God. Why am I judging? Why am I judging? If that's a choice that you made, your soul made that choice. I don't hate those people anymore. I have compassion for them. I love them because they know not. I am no longer going to put them in a category of why are they still doing this? Because they're in fear. I can only give them sound mind and reason scientifically that this doesn't do anything. You know, for a cancer patient that's on chemo that does wear a mask, it's for a reason. It's not to say they're trying to lessen the potentiality of them catching something that will kill them. This is not Ebola. I didn't have to wear a whole bodysuit, neither did anybody else here. So, hi, Amy. That's little Thor's auntie. Little Thor has an auntie. Many, but Amy's the most popular one. Little Thor, that little stinker butt, him and Odin had a little pickle. So I try to leave the screen cracked, like my window, that glass door cracked, so they can't get to each other, like physically jump through that, but they could still sniff each other, trying to get them used to each other. They were having a little pickle the other day. Got home, gave Thor some dinner, and you see paws pawing each other, like trying to kill each other. Too much testosterone. Amy rocks. I love these cards. I love Spirit. Spirit, love you. Self. Mwah. Now I gotta pluck through all these cards without them spilling everywhere. We got Agape and the Father. I don't even know Agape is in the back of this book. Somewhere. Yeah. Agape. What if instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God goddess or nature at the center. How would this change your approach? Such is the energy of agape. It is alive when we are in awe and wonder, our breath taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us and asks for nothing in return. This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches your capacity to love and serve. You sense the earthly as the heavenly and vice versa. Such an initiatory moment can appear in any form, and like a healing balm to the modern soul, its effects last a lifetime. The agape card may also suggest you reassess what you worship every day, consciously or unconsciously. What are you elevating? Where does the sacred ladder you climb ultimately lead? And this is where we're at, right? We all manifested 47. We all manifested it together. Even the other side did too. They needed their unconscious. Their unconscious needed a change. They unconsciously know as well. They're awake unconsciously. They know something's wrong. They're in denial of it. Their ego's in denial. Their humanness in the alike state is unconscious, but they're awake to an extent. Sorry, I made a really good pot of coffee. Really good coffee. Gotta have my coffee. Father. Alongside the mother, the father resides in the central axis of the archetypical family. The father embodies both light and dark aspects of the masculine. Thus, he is infinitely dynamic and complex. His energy is strong and regal, embodying such virtues as honesty, wisdom, and loyalty. Yet, ironically and simultaneously, the father is often absent, literally or emotionally. Through absence or action, the father eventually reveals that he is neither a king nor a god, but a human being with many flaws and wounds. He is both the guardian and one who leaves us to the wolves. Here, yet gone, the champion and the failure, the father can never resolve or escape this duality. It is inherent in this archetype itself. When, sorry guys, witnessing the father's limitations allows a child to grow beyond the family into the world. So when we put away the separation and the limitation we wrote for ourselves, right? And that's hard to do in 3D because there's still structure that needs to collapse. It hasn't collapsed yet. You know, we need to grasp that we wrote this for ourselves. Take ownership of it. Take ownership that you create your reality. Why did you create the reality that you created? What is your soul growth? We all came here and we all chose a scenario for ourselves. I chose in this life to heal the abandonment wounds that I felt for a millennia. When you're adopted, like I was, and your mother never held you, my birth mother never held me, that's an innate instinctual thing, is you're placed on your mother's chest when you're born. Whether you hate your mother or love your mother, that's something I never had. And from that moment, the abandonment issue began. And it took me a very long time to heal that abandonment. When I found out my mother committed the act of taking her life, that was another sort of abandonment I had to heal. Why couldn't she wait for me? What, didn't she hold out hope? But that was her story that she needed to play. That's the healing I needed to heal. Self-worth and love. I'm still in this moment in time single. Why can't I find somebody who can unconditionally love me and take and accept me for who I am, my batshit crazy self, and deal with my eccentric, unique lifestyle? That person yet. And people are close, but very close in a way. I mean, but in this reality, voting doesn't count. It counts in small elections. Um, I said in one of my videos, I have a guy who works in my school that was on the ballot. I didn't even know he was running. And when I saw his name, I absolutely voted for him. I didn't care what party. I was going to support somebody that is a pretty awesome person that I work with. He was on my side. He didn't get in, but I voted for him nonetheless. And I'm like, he's out, so he does duties outside when like, because I have kids on and that go in the cars and walk home. And he's outside, and when I was pulling out of the parking lot, I'm like, you were on the ballot, weren't you? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, I voted for you. He goes, oh, thank you. It's little connections like that. It's connections that are like that. But you see, I also have to come into the reality that I'm now balancing out my masculine and feminine qualities because I've had to be more of my masculine self. I moved by myself. I didn't really have any help. I had a little chunk of help, but not physically. I physically moved everything into my house, had very little help. I did a lot of the work on my house, painted it, fixed some stuff up by myself. All the furniture that is here, I built, I put together. Um, it's mind-boggling what I've had to traverse the last few years, and I did it by myself. I had to show myself I am capable. But now I have to live more in my humanness and be the feminine that I was meant to be. Jason, when I moved into this house, if you go back to the Wayback Machine, Jason was doing podcasts out of here. I had a box mountain. Dina was helping me chop my boxes up, but I did a lot of the moving. Um, they were not in the situation either to help me either. Physically. They were just getting their parts of their lives back together. The Wayback Machine of the Truth Tour too, where Jason was displaced. Um, that was the time frame that I moved here. And I gave Jason down here to do his podcast for a couple of until his stuff got back on track. And he helped me with my washer and dryer. Dana did too. And Jason Jason is he projects himself in one way on screen, and I don't blame him. But I know Jason in different capacity, and he'll take the shirt off his back for people. He is a very kind-hearted, loving person. He he's not all the time what he projects. I don't see the stuff that he projects is not necessarily who he is. I know he like hates Jews, like hates, like in his essence. I know it. But at the same time, he and I are really good friends, and my last name is super Jewish, and my family is Jewish, and even though I never practiced a day of Judaism in my life, I still had parents that are, and he respects it. And you know, he is he talking about my family? Maybe. I don't think so. You know, they chose the religion, they chose their story for a reason. They chose the religion for a reason. And so did everybody else. You chose your shit. Does that make you a bad person? No. It makes people indoctrinated into propaganda. Just like the Catholics, just like Muslims, just like any other. You could take anything to an extreme and you can run with it. You could be preached your whole life, and what that person is telling you is absolute garbage. But you could still heart align with it and believe it because it sounds so fanciful. That's why going inside yourself and doing the deep diving to know what your truth is takes time. If you see all the books behind me, I don't believe everything, every word in every book. I don't go, I base my knowledge, my truth, my alignments to things based on the commonalities all these books behind me have. And then I go within, I do a lot of meditation, I do a lot of soul searching, and I bring the elements that resonate inside of my heart for me. I do it through books. Other people do it through different methods. Know that Dolores Cannon doesn't have everything right. Even though she's not a medium, she's not channeling, she's putting other people in those states. It's a perception that they had, that their soul is giving you a little portion of a bigger story. That's why so many people can channel Jesus, and not one story really adds up to being a whole totality of a same. Pamela Erlin channels Yeshua, and a bunch of other people do too, and it's different shit. You're hearing different perspectives because going back to the pie chart, I don't know which angel came in is working with me through me. I know Hillel is one of them, but I've had Sandalphon, I had Samael, I had Raphael, I had Gabriel, I had Michael come through me. There's a shit ton of archangels. There's a shit ton of angels. What artist? Is it Da Vinci? Is it Picasso? I don't know. But how many millions of artists are out there? It could be a no name coming through me, channeling concepts and visuals for me to like follow. That's true, but truth is at a frequency of your awareness. Truth is expansive. So wherever you are in your frequency is where you're going to see the truth, and the truth expands. This is why a lot of stuff is hard for even the truther community to acknowledge because they are all set in their ego, which is fine, that this has to be the truth. Well, take it up a notch, that truth expands. And then that truth expands. And it gets bigger and bigger, and the puzzle pieces become larger. I agree, Charlene. Manly P. Hall is freaking fantastic. I love Manly P. Hall. Oh, but he's a Mason. He's so evil. No, he's not. He's channeled. A channel I really highly recommend people watch is Decode Your Reality. Um, it's another Jason. Is it Jason? I forgot his name. I've gone over him before. He does the tarot cards with bicycle cards, the playing cards. He does elements. He breaks things down in Chaldean, not gematria, but in the Chaldean aspects. He does numerology. He's Santos Bernacci's friend. He breaks a lot of shit down, and it all fucking makes sense. Like, I believe we lived in a simulated holographic ontological matrix. Now we're shifting out of the ontological component where we're going into the quantum. Ontological is still there mathematically because that's vibration and frequency, but it's going down into the microscopic, into a finer dense layer of existence. Everything is overlaid. And what is a camera? What are our eyes? It's a projection. And when you can see things quantumly, trip on a couple of things, and I don't recommend it. Not medical advice, not just my own experience. You see a finer world than what you're seeing, perceiving in without an aid of another chemical. Yeah, he's amazing. His channel is one that for some stuff it absolutely makes a lot of sense. And I give him a lot of respect for doing that research. I don't know why he's not blowing up either. Jason Bashir's, his stuff too, is a perception of books. So when you collectively go in and you're reading Ashiana Dean, I align with Ashiana Dean because if it wasn't for her work, I wouldn't know that I lived on a Stargate. A lot of the stuff that she does, I align with, but a lot of it I don't. I'm not there yet. And I might not be from that ray of understanding. I might be from a different ray. Dolores Cannon, The Law of One, Manly P. Hall, even Owaspe and Urantia, Kiza Enoch as well. Combine it all, the Curtis books, they all have a lot of heavy similarities in The Law of One. They talk about the law of one without even saying the law of one. They all have components. Even L. Ron Hubbard has some components of the law of one in his work. Not easy to pluck it out, but it's there. You have to look at the oneness, the at one min. When you can see that you are the air, you are the tree, you are connected energetically, entangled. I could take this the scientific route as well. If you are quantumly entangled to objects and things in your reality, it's because you put them there. Yes. Santos, but his work in its core is fantastic. We're a lot of people who are doing conscious work. They're fantastic. Brian Scott is fantastic. The issues that come up is personality with their ego. I'm reading Steiner right now. You're not going to align. Remember, I hate to say that remember thing. I don't like it. You are a compendium. You're this body, your essence, the little bit of consciousness that's in this awareness is composed of so many different things. So you're going to align with certain things and not others because that is a compendium of your soul. That's why you could sit in a room with a bunch of artists with a bunch of shit in the middle. When you're told to paint it, everybody has a different perception of the objects that are the same in the middle of the room. Your scaling, your tones, your hues of color, your angles are all going to be different, but it's the same objects in the middle of the room. And that's how we all see reality. But the objects in the room don't change. It's only where you stand in the room that it changes. Some people will get the front of the skeleton. Some people will get the back of the skeleton. Still the same skeleton, but you're seeing it from a different point of view. Not everybody that talks conscious, people are going to get or delineate different versions of what they pick up. So I channel a whole bunch of shit. You might not even get one thing out of what I say because it doesn't align with you. It's not your ray of understanding. That's a big one. Sacred convergence. Roaming about town, the master was built holding a light, saying, I am weary of the demons and the beasts. A human is what I am longing for. The human cannot be found. We have searched. We cannot be found is what I am longing for. Although poor and needy, I will not accept small pieces of ruby. The mine of the finest rubies is what I am longing for. One hand holding a cup of wine and the other the curls of the beloved. A dance like this in the middle of a circle is what I am longing for. I don't make this shit up. Rumi. How I have longed for you, my very own. Look no further for the family beyond your family, the relationship beyond all other relationships, the great love that unveils all other loves, to be more merely a reflection of the one great and true love, is here for you now. It is I who has sought you through the stirrings of your own heart. Yes, 'twas I, hidden beneath every secret, yearning for something more, something full, something special, something all-encompassing. Behind every yearning, always I have hidden. Now I show myself to you, that you may become so filled with the same passionate devotion that I hold for you. that your mind will fall away, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of love, tossed into an ocean of silent, unending bliss. Come to me. We are to be here now in oneness, in sacred convergence of silence, eternal passion. Sacred convergence indicates a coming together of souls in alignment with the greater cause. This greater cause is both personal and impersonal. There is an aspect of joining together for common purpose, although that purpose may not be immediately obvious at a level of day-to-day consciousness. Hi, everybody! That common soul purpose may be to lift each other into greater love and self-belief, to shed fear and open the heart, filling each individual soul with more holy fire for its personal passionate purpose. Mic drop. You have a sense when this process is happening. There will be a coming together of you with like-minded souls who hail from all walks of life. And yet together through one invisible genius, you will help each other. You may simply be dancing in the same room or singing in a group, attending a class or a workshop, or just visiting the same beach or parkland. But at that moment, there will be a sense of something coherent and nourishing happening at a far greater level. The trickle-down effect into your personal life will be felt too. You'll have more energy after spending time with these people, even if you don't interact very much on a personal level beyond being in the same space. You'll feel empowered to step forward on your path of love and love of yourself with less conditions. You'll become freer to shed your fears. Go of relationships based on fear and judgment, letting them go, and opening up to those more loving, responsive, and inspiring to continue on your personal journey in increasing profound ways. This oracle has come to you because you are a part of a greater sacred convergence happening now. Perhaps you are already sense its progression, or perhaps it will not be obvious to you, but the effect, whether obvious or subtle, will be important to your soul development and divine awakening. You are being asked to drop defenses and barriers towards groups of people that feel good for you. However, those that dampen your spirits or drag you down are to be dispensed with, no matter what games of blame or manipulation they may play to keep you coming back for more. No, that shall not do for your soul growth now. Just step away. Turn towards those connections that feel nourishing to your soul and learn to share yourself without fear. Just be you. Do you, boo? You do not have to force the planets to spin, nor the great cycle of the soul to happen. All that is required, that you show up for what is offered to you now. Do your part, take your steps. Dance, sing, and be, and allow the gifts of sacred connections to change your world. For this is a spiritual gift present to you now. This comes with a special message. Perhaps you have been thinking about shedding lower vibrational connections based in the ego world of power games, sabotage, manipulation, and fear. Perhaps you have already begun this process, or even shed so many you are fearing. You might have over-pruned to be left with nothing and no one. Do not fear, feisty angel of love. Your truth is prevailing. You cannot stay in a vibration of fear if you want to dwell in a vibration of love. This oracle comes to you with guidance that the possibility for more joyful relationships and growth of love within is in your power. You can choose each day, each moment, just to make a choice. Trust yourself, your discernment, and your intuition, and choose. You do not owe anyone anything. I don't make this crap up. What did I just talk about the last almost 3 hours? I can't believe it. This is the time of now. We have a choice to make. And this is a big one. Is slowly looking at where you're putting your energy, where you're putting and throwing your support. It's as simple as that. Are you finding, and this is the part that is hard for many of us, because many of us who are light workers have been segregated. We're in different parts of the world. We're sitting in different aspects of life, different age brackets, different fixed, incomes. We have different dynamics. We're the beacons of light. We're the lighthouses for our communities, for our area. We're not alone. Some of us are more vocal about it than others. There are a lot of people still not willing to tap into the alien collective or the angel collective or the truth collective. People are not ready for a lot of the things that I say, because it's stuff that hurts. It's stuff they have to confront. They're not ready to. I give grace and compassion to those people. As much as I'm being silenced on Rumble, yes, I am. Hi, Odin. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. I'm being silenced on Rumble. Made a show yesterday. Don't know why the comments were not there. Couldn't tell you. I took half the entire show to figure that one out. My big baby Odin. He's like, God, let me go. Let me go, mama. Let me go. Say hi, everybody. Who's that? Are you self-awaring? Who is that? Look how big he is. Go down there. Um, yeah. Why am I being suppressed? YouTube, why am I being suppressed? Oh, because my words are very impactful. Because that would change a lot of people's perspectives. That's a hard truth to swallow. People are following the carrot on a stick that's been preached by so many different people. Where are we going to draw the line? When are you going to stop feeding your energy to certain things? I choose to look at the other side and give them love and compassion. And I do that because I love people. I'm not judging anymore. I'm not looking at them as a liberal and labeling them. I'm not. I had purple hair. Does that make me a liberal? I'm gothic. I like black. Actually, one of the pairs in the room, I'm only in there on Fridays. She's like, I have something to say, and I hope you don't get offended, but you're like the coolest 40-year-old she's like, you don't even act your age. Like you seem so youthful and full of life. Like, are you a witch? Like you're gothic, right? I'm like, mm-hmm. That doesn't make me a witch. But I'm like, I just do me authentically. I don't care what people say about my makeup. I don't care. My gray hair is my gray hair, comes out of my head. Don't care. Right? Makes me wise. People pay a lot of money to get this color. I'm hoping the censorship goes away because like the shadow banning shit is annoying. Um, I am unable to comment in WeNotMe. I could say hi and then my chat goes black or my chat stops. Then I have to refresh the stream. I think yesterday I refreshed 14 times. And whenever I get the chance to, when I don't have error in my chat box, I'll write hi, blessings to everybody. It's very highly annoying, and I proved it to Dina. I'm like, I'm not just not here. I'm here. I'm listening. Me and her text back and forth half the shows if I'm not over by, over there. And she's having the same problem. It's not just a me problem. It's a lot of people having the same. I know Scott has the same problem. Um, even with my YouTube views, I know people watch a lot of, I have over 1,000 videos. I should be way over the watch value to get monetized and it's not a lot of money. Cents, but it's something. It's just passive income. I'm going to do this regardless of making money, right? But if something can help me and aid me, I'm going to do it. I don't align with people selling products that make people pay over a large, extensive amounts of money that promote that this is going to take care of all this stuff. Not everything works for everybody. I pour frequency into shit. I know now that it was my allergy to my own body. I do. I have my own allergy. I'm allergic to myself. My hives are gone. Why? Because my hormone calmed the fuck down. Gotta love that. You know, I learned a long time ago, people are going to do what they're going to do because that's the level of knowledge that they're at. A lot of the movements that a lot of us follow, a lot of people are on the older edge of that coin. They have their retirement money, they have their whatever to aid them in their living and being able to have the free time. I was only allotted that time because I lost everything. And even when I moved here, I was looking for work back then. It took me a long time to get a job. And it seems like this second it sounds like this second income I'm trying to obtain, this part-time job, I don't know why anybody wouldn't want me. I work very hard for what I earn. I in the classroom, I'm working for 3 other people. I am doing 3 other people's jobs. Not only because I care for the kids, because I'm a loyal worker. I work hard. That, hey, whiskey. It's it blows my mind that I can't get another job. I've been putting applications out for a month already. Banana shit. Banana shit. I know a lot of you watch a lot of different people, and they're all giving you projections, right? Miss Sarah, just Sarah, this and that. Okay, in what system are they going to drop this shit under? Because you know what I was told? I'm gonna have to work for my life. Nothing is gonna get handed to me. And I believe that. I really do. I believe that. I work hard for what I have obtained. Is it much? Is it much to show for? No. Yeah, that's true. Oh, I love my guides myself. Mhm. I'm applying for seasonal like Christmas help because the next 2 months, like on Monday, I don't work. On Thursday, I don't work. Then Thanksgiving, I don't work. And then there's like 2 weeks off in December, I think, here for Christmas break. I don't get paid. So that's almost a large chunk of money that I will not be seeing and won't be able to pay my bills. That I need another job. And then I don't get summer income unless I get another job or they hire me for summer school. That sucks. Like living paycheck to paycheck. And at this point, like I need like 5 jobs just to maintain. And I'm not talking about high paying jobs. Um, so yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of high like I applied to Kohl's, for example. I'm still waiting. I'm like, okay, their hours fit my full-time schedule. So I'm looking for part-time. I don't care if it's retail because it's part-time. Their hours are from 5 to 10. I could do that. Not every day of the week, but I could do that. And then the weekends I chose the early morning hours so that I have the rest of the day to relax and rest and get my other stuff done. Oh, it's always yeah, it costs everybody to work. It costs everybody to work. But I'm at that point where I'm eating once a day and it's like cereal bars. Like even Viking came into my house is like, why aren't you getting food stamps? I have to look into that. But anywho, connection. The frequency of connection supports our ability to find alignment and resonance with others, things, and ideas. And I don't like to sit in this lack money mindset, but then reality still is reality. Bills still have to be paid somehow. Soul. The energy of soul activates our connection to the part of us that is closer to the higher realms, God and divine. Trying not to get glare. So, what is this ultimately saying? Connect to your soul. Know thyself. So even with vending events and stuff, I'm doing one in December. Maybe, I don't know. I paid for it, and the lady was like, I don't know where your payment is. It's from a metaphysical shop me and Dina visited in like 2 towns over. not that far from here. And they were looking for vendors, and I'm like, here's my website. If I fit the bill, the table was $75 for 2 days. A lot of the vending events here, you have to have a tax ID and you have to have something else. I don't have it because I'm private. Everything is private. I don't have any of that stuff. A lot of them need to know that you're LLC'd. So I don't have any of that. And then some of these table rates are $250. I don't have that money. I can't just, wishful thinking and not get anything back. The library event that I did over the summer, I made over $150. And that I got, it was $10 for the table. So I need events like that, like showcasing, but they're very scarce. And a lot of these holiday events that are posted are scams as well. They take your money and then there's nothing there. So I have to do a lot of investigating on that. That's the harder, that's hard. So I'm hoping this event does happen for me. That'd be great. Um, I would like to sell more stuff, but it's, a lot of people are pinched financially right now. That's another problem. It's not just me complaining. I don't like to complain. Um, but I'm there. Um, Taking a different approach mentally. I'm not doing what I did 2 years ago. You can look at those videos. I was an angry, see you next Tuesday, bitch. I was hangry, very hangry, very, because I was screaming out for help, but I was doing it in the wrong way. Yeah, everything is low because who has the money for this stuff? And now Christmas is coming around, right? I don't do the holiday. I don't celebrate holiday. Who do I celebrate with? It's just me, Jason, and Dina as a little family. And last year I got to hang out with Viking with his family. Um, I like the holidays for the underlying meaning that it brings people together. I like the warm, fuzzy feeling of doing things with people, putting ornaments on a tree. I don't care how pagan it is. Here, it's the meaningful part of it. Seeing a kid smile makes me melt because I see they're authentically happy. That's the meaning for me of holidays, like Halloween. Seeing the kids just be another character and like really live it makes me excited because they're just being a kid. The adults were being kids. We got to take the negativity out of all this shit. Reclaim it for something for what it really is. Thanksgiving, we're all coming. Yeah, and Native Americans got slaughtered amongst many other individuals. Sucks. The idea behind the modernized version of all of this is coming together, doing for others, being a service to others. These holidays are supposed to bring the best out of people, not the worst. When you take the commercialism out of it, yeah, I like to make things for people and give it to them as gifts. I do it all the time. I think it's important. But being there to be someone's shoulder is more important. And that's where a lot of us are going to come in. Because we're blessed. This card keeps coming out. We're blessed. I know I'm blessed to having all of you here. I know all of you are blessed for being awake and having more acknowledgement of your consciousness. Because there's no place like home. Where's home? Here is your home. Your vessel is your home. The earth is your home. With moving forward, we have to clean it up. This is our jobs. Like I said at the beginning of this, we're cleaning up the crap that society of the negative polarity has created. We're cleaning up. For me, I'd love to clean up the educational system. My school this morning, after a doctor did a mindfulness class in the high school for professional development day, my principal has been incorporating binaural beats in his morning message. So he'll play binaural beats. He will talk about breath work with the kids. He'll have them do dragon breath and blowing out the candles. And he refocuses the kids' day as soon as they walk in and they sit down, getting their jackets off before they eat breakfast in the classroom. He does mindfulness with the kids. If everybody were to do that and actually do that throughout the day, holy shit, that would change a lot of paradigms. If we did more nature-centered activities with the kids in school, that would help. We need to refocus a lot of this stuff. Sherry Divan talks about this all the time with the kids in autism. That's one of my major roles, is to clean up the special educational system that sucks. And more of these kids are coming into the paradigm because we have a larger compendium of healing to do. Oh, that's beautiful. I reached out to the Potawatomi tribe of Michigan because they're close to Northwest Indiana. Help asking them for ley line help, and I didn't get a response. It's our time to clean up the shit and go the distance. There's a lot of work that is involved in this moving forward. It starts at home within you. It's the cleaning the shit out of you. It's purging all the shit. Let's check the Schumann resonance here. This damn phone app. This camera sucks. All right, you can see it tilted. That's a lot of white spiking, but there's a lot of red in between all of it. That's us getting our downloads and our uploads and the frequency of Earth conjoined with us and purging it out. What no longer will serve us and our souls. What are you purging? And this is the time to do it. Yeah. We need to be more mindful in our life. And where does it start? I have been implementing different methods of binaural pure tone in my classroom. It hurts a lot of people's ears. They can't tolerate it. It is not easy to listen to for a long span of time. But pure tone in your bathtub, your shower, when you put it on a Bluetooth speaker, it vibrates the frequency. And when you're doing the work in the shower to watch all the negative energy go down the drain and taking that water, the life force upon you to heal you, using that frequency will engage the water. Over the summer when my hot tub was working, I sat in my hot tub because I can't have chlorine. I'm highly allergic. I'm anaphylactic. Bye, Thomas. I'm anaphylactic to chlorine. So I would put on frequency and sit within nature and do my thing. I believe mindfulness should be in all schools. Schools should have a meditation room with salt lamps, bean bags, teaching the kids how to meditate. And again, everybody meditates all the time. You're just not aware of it. But with intention. So when someone's doing a guided meditation, there's intention there. There's a specific reason, a specific motive, where your mind's going, what you're visualizing. When you're sitting in the silence, you're just allowing yourself to be. A lot of kids cannot do that because of the instant gratification they have been brought up in. Everything is instantaneous. It's very hard for a kid to sit still, even one that does not have ADHD, because mommies and daddies have to work 5 million jobs and their attention is scattered all over the place because they would need to function in society. Here's a tablet, here's a cell phone, and everything is instantaneous. Oh, Siri can give me the answer. Google can give me the answer. We are not thinking for ourselves. We're not taking the due diligence. And AI, like it was mentioned earlier, will be very highly functionable for us if we use it with the right intention. I don't see AI being my best friend or my enemy. It's a tool. And like all tools, like oracle cards, you have to use them with respect and proper intention. 2222. Angel number. In every circumstance of life, this huge change is going to bring you inner peace and harmony. All conflicts are coming to an end to give way to compassion and empathy. I don't make this shit up. I don't. Don't lack down. Listen to your heart and embrace all the wounds. Remember, you once had started these dreams. Remember, you were once a warrior to fight for your own good. You still are indeed. Decide. Overanalyzing options steals you away from the present moment. You have the power to decide today, here and now. What will you gain is clarity and new chances. Get inspired. Sparkle up your soul with music, graceful dance moves, or some kind of art. You then feel vibrations of a higher frequency and love life more. I'm going to tell you today, at the end of the day, I have to pick up the pre-Kers in the full day program to take them to the bus. And unbeknownst to me, to the kids that go on the bus had to go home early. They weren't feeling good. And they were having a dance party in their room. And I came in and I'm just busting my moves down. And it was such high vibes. I don't care what I look like. I don't care what other people think of me. I'm going and doing me. Are you doing your authentic self? I don't care what people think. Never have, never will. Why? Because I'm secure in myself. Are you secure in yourself? If I ever get, hang on, I upstairs. I'm gonna read my closing oracle cards. Oh, because I haven't reached the watch hours to have one yet. Whiskey? This is why I started one of the many reasons why I started going live is that they've been fucking with my watch hours, which will help me obtain to getting like super chats and subscriptions and stuff of that nature. I eventually, let's just say I don't get a part-time job. I'm putting it out there, I'm going to, but I'm keeping this channel. It's not going anywhere. I want to be able to do more funner things like ghost stuff. Let's see if they have a picture of her. I want to show you one of my professors. Hang on. Okay. So it's hard to see it, but her name is Marilyn Minter. This was one of my professors. That's enamel on, I forgot, but she does realistic paintings, like hyper realistic, like I do my drawings. She's freaking fantastic. I'm trying to find a picture of her. I'll show you another one of her. This is a painting, not a picture, not a digital photo. This is her picture. Um, shit. This is her. She's a fantastic artist. One day she came to one of my critiques wearing a crazy, crazy, crazy outfit. It was banana nuts. And I adored her for that because she's just being her. So I encourage all of you, like, I'm gothic. I own it. I am mature about it because I have to go to work. Can't scare the kids. But I walk in my authenticity. I'm not hiding. I'm not putting a mask on. Not like metaphorical, not the real diapers. I'm not doing that. But I'm doing me and I'm being me at all times. I'm not hiding myself from anybody. And I hope all of you, no matter what and how old you are, you're being and doing you. A lot of people I started working with had no fucking concept that I was not in my 20s. I don't act my age, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. A lot of people don't see me for the maturity level that I can have. I don't have one. I like going out and just doing me. I like being a kid at heart. That's why I work with pre-K kids. I like to play. It keeps me young. It keeps me youthful. Are you doing that? Are you a grumpy old person? She is probably like those crazy people you see in those videos where in Manhattan people are just walking and they have those funky outfits. There's nothing wrong with that. They're excited to live. They're motivated by doing them. Are you motivated by doing you? Please be motivated. Do you be your fantastic, sparkly, amazing self. But in order to move forward in this now moment with the politics and stuff that will play out, before I read the last card, the biggest message I have to all of you is to move into your heart space and have unconditional love and compassion, and with the maturity level of an adult, where you're going to allow that side to mourn, to bitch and complain, but you're going to be the shoulder for them. You're not going to shove shit in their face. You're not going to do what the I told you so's. It's not necessary. We got to walk in that higher path, the higher level of maturity, so that these people can, we are modeling the behavior that these people are going to follow eventually in their own timing. And that's also amongst the people that are like-minded with us. We have to be the examples. We have to have the maturity level, because they're expecting the immature, I told you so, you're this, you're that, the judgment, the name calling, the demeaning. We can't do that. We're in a shift of time space going on to another timeline. We can't do it without these people. Humanity isn't going to shift. The bright light that everybody's projecting is not going to happen until we all get on a similar page. Doesn't need to be on the same page. We need to be in the same book. Are you willing to put down the ego and be compassionate toward that side? It's very hard when you're out in public. You don't know whose party affiliation somebody belongs to. You have to be careful in how you make your statements, and you can still speak your truth, but do it in a way that is not offensive. You can project your light for all. And of course, the last card I pull is card number 17. Mandala of the Heart. I'm going to do this from afar. There's nothing showing, but it's a little racy. Mandala of the Heart. 528 hertz. This is one of my favorite hertz to play. Sometimes aspects of your life fall apart or don't go to plan. This is so they can come back together in a beautiful new way. Trust in the goodness, in the inevitable blessing of your destiny falling into place. Let's hope that's happening for all of us. Do not trust your fears. Put your faith and love of your heart a heartfelt wish is going to manifest. I sure damn hope so. The mandala of the heart is the expression of divine feminine power within. It is a life-changing experience of love, healing, compassion, deep repair, and restoration that only can happen when we feel safe and loved enough to truly let go. Despite what the wounded opinions of ego might have one believe, love is the most powerful consciousness on the planet. It is also highly intelligent. As we open to heal with the frequency of love in our hearts, we naturally invoke positive effects in the lives of others too. We attract positive intervention from spirit, pathways open up, magic happens. Love is the path to the transformational, the alchemical, and the miraculous. It is the means by which negative patterns are reversed and the original purity of beauty of our innate spiritual perfection can manifest itself in all dimensions, all, including the physical. We may be and feel we are bumbling along, yet we are blessed with an invisible, powerful field of grace moving with us, ensuring that our actions yield the best outcomes and that we attract what we truly want and need. Your heart is more than connected to the universal heart. It is a holographic emanation, part of the sacred mandala of the divine feminine heart, and as such, holds divine genius and power. To believe the history must repeat itself, or that what we imagine is the limit of what can happen, is to deny the power of the heart and the generosity of divine grace. We need radical lovers and inspired dreamers who dare to invite in the most outlandishly blessed interventions of the universal heart for all beings. All beings. All beings. This oracle affirms that honoring deep soul bonds and sharing healing with your soul tribe is an important facet of your purpose. You have the power of love in your heart. It is the healing spiritual glue that can bring people together for a higher purpose. It inspires others and generates positive energy to lighten the emotional load many souls carry. So playing this frequency will help you align not only to yourself, but to others and to Mother Gaia. So everything I've been saying, these cards are saying it more eloquently, to say the least. And it's stuff that we need to focus on in the here and the now moment as the political unfoldment, the astronomical alignments are happening, all the retrogrades, the trines, the squaring, this moon, this portal, all this fanciful stuff is just to say, go within, mature, do the work, purge, get it out of you, so that these people that don't know any better, that don't have those realizations, we can help them. Because like that conversation I talked about in the beginning of the show, the conversation meant the world to that woman who was also in financial downfall, who needed an inspiration to say, stop thinking negatively about the orange man, because that's not what it is. You're being displayed this information from a propagandist point of view. And you have to have hope and manifest your reality. So manifest positivity. education needs to change. The Board of Education will dissolve, but that doesn't mean something is not going to be in its place. If you're aligned to it, you're going to be working for it. The scope at the end of the day is these kids. It always has been about the kids. We're so focused on the ones that get unfortunate ends to the means of the negative stuff. We're not focused on the kids that are here in the now, here alive, suffering too. Hi, Nesha. 528. 528. That's the heart. I also listen to 417 hertz, pure tone. You can find that on YouTube. 396 285 also I have done. I do that a lot, actually, pure tone. Here's a suggestion for the tones. Go on YouTube, Spotify, wherever. Some people have the money to have a subscription. I sure don't. I have to get it for free. There's a million different channels that have a different millions of versions of these tones. Listen to them for a few minutes. See what your ears can handle and what meshes within your soul. What meshes with me might not mesh with you. You have to discover these things and go and listen to these things. But I listen to the pure tone because it hits your frequency and your brain waves. If you're going, like in my classroom, I will put on binaural beats that have background music to it with the hertz that it needs to be at, but there's different tones. For YouTube's sake, I will not play them for copyright services. But if you go and look at pure tone and then hit the binaural beats, it's different. But your ears might not be able to handle that high frequency. Theta, gamma, alpha, beta waves, pure tone, not easy to listen to. Just going to put that out there. That's not easy to listen to, especially if you're doing it in a bathtub with the Bluetooth speaker. Not at all. Not at all. So next Friday, if I'm not working, getting a job, I might introduce one of my other kind of interests. Hang on. Spirit talk.
I'm listening to you.
That's spirit.
The noise was him.
I get some activity because Scott, I know he sees a lot of stuff behind me.
Stay right here.
And these apps, I have a spirit box, but it's really hard to hear. But I've gotten some really good conversations out of these. That make sense and apply to reality.
There.
So this is just one of two that I have. So I might have that on the background. I have a REM pod as well. I could put it on the chair. The cats will make it go off.
Attached.
Yeah, that's great. Attached to what? Sometimes I get names. I have a lot of activity here that I know.
Share my message.
Share my message. What's your message? a lot of people have been dumped here from the Chicago mob in my town because it was not built up back then. It's just like New Jersey Pine Barrens. Like New York, Staten Island people used to bring everybody into New Jersey to bury their victims. So a lot of that happened from Chicago to here. Someone was shot. Not surprised.
I like to talk.
So I would like to be doing a little bit more of this too, because I think it's very interesting that we're in fourth density and these beings are frequently now talking more.
I shouldn't be dead.
But you are alive energetically. Take the attachment out.
Filming.
Filming.
Tom.
Hi, Tom. Hope that's not a peeping Tom. I was warned about that someone's watching me. Not like here, but like outside my house. I got to get my video cameras back up and running. So yeah, I want to do a lot more of this. Talk more about the paranormal stuff that I've seen. I think just right now, I'm going to mute this, that the energies that we're all walking into is asking us to shift our state of mind, our state of thinking. And it's up to us to do that work. I know a lot of you are very capable of doing it, and it takes time. It takes compassion for ourselves. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I've been to the Pine Barrens once. I drove through it. There's a lot. Like even in even in the older videos where I still lived in New York, there was a lot of activity. I mean, I again lived on my house was a Stargate. Here, I have two really large shadow figures. They're taller than the trees here that are neutral beings. They're not negative or positive, but they could cause havoc if they breach the house. Little Thor came into my life because little Thor is keeping that stuff away from my property. He's a protector of this neighborhood energetically. I also had the demon behemoth try to get here a few times. And that wouldn't do any harm in terms of physicality or trying to possess me. That's not what it wants to do. It wants to take me off my track. It's not doing it's doing a job on me, but it's not doing the best job. A lot of us are going to be attacked. That's interesting, El Sunray. I know that a few weeks ago I was attacked big time. Big time. And that was projected at me. Remember, your thoughts become things. So when you're thinking negatively on another person, that is projecting a thought form to them. So be mindful of what you're projecting out into your reality. Be the ray of sunshine, be the light. I put it on every one of my little shorts in the morning because it's very important that we do that. Be the light. Embrace what you are. It's not narcissistic. It's not conceited to know that what you are is more than you think. It's going to be normalized eventually. that we're all higher ended beings inhabiting a human form. And there's no hierarchy of, oh, that one's an ascended master. You must know all this stuff. No, you're living a human experience trying to remember. We're all in different frequencies and different vibratory states. At the end of the day, you're still human. And you have to have compassion for yourself first. When you work on yourself first, it's a game changer. And I know I'm still working on myself. I'm still going through a process. I'm doing a lot of learning, teaching right now in my life. So that's the crux of where we need to be, guys. And moving forward is just holding space for others at this point in time, allowing people to get it out of them, purge the shit out of themselves, especially the people on the other side that are in mourning, who are going to project hate, shame, blame, and projection of shit. Let them do it, but give them love in return. For they know not. And eventually the wisdom and light will come upon them. And you're going to be that person that they're going to come to. And you have to model better behavior. So let's do it together. Let's embrace all people. Let's love all people, even the ones that we really have a hard time loving. Their choices are not the best. We don't prefer their choices. But at the end of the day, it's still God. And that's the most important part. So, guys, thank you for showing up and being a part of my journey. Thank you so much to all the people who have graciously helped me in this journey. I can't do this without all of you. And hopefully the conscious expansion of love and compassion will grow, and I'll have more people. And you guys are the chains of succession. So go out in your communities and be the love and light and the shoulders. I shouldn't be the only one doing it. And I'm hoping, Buckshot, you're on tomorrow with Janine on Turn the Page with Janine on Rumble. I hope you're on. Hopefully my Rumble works tomorrow because it hasn't been working. Yeah, I only had Odin show up. I don't know where Freya is. She's not in her spot. She likes to lay out on my pyramid. Well, thank you, Scott, for showing up, and thank you for your gratitude. And I appreciate you guys so much. If it wasn't for half the people helping me out, I would already not have internet or lighting in my house. Yes, Buckshot's going to be on Turn the Page with Janine tomorrow. Probably 6 Central, 7 Eastern. But check out Telegram for that information. Go to her channel, subscribe to her. Janine is amazing. Love her to pieces. She's also an amazing soul. And we need to just keep up with us amazing souls. And I know last week Poppy made an appearance on my channel. That was fantastic. Wasn't expecting him to, but I gotta give Poppy love. I love everybody who's speaking love, light, and the truth. So let's keep doing this together, guys. Go support Buckshot. He's amazing. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. I should be doing, now that I have Monday off, we'll see what happens. 7:30 Eastern. And doing, okay, so tomorrow, if you are on Telegram and free, why I'm saying Telegram is that Buckshot is hosting a Zoom for any and all. Come join Buckshot. Usually Saturdays I'm out and about, but I'll hopefully drop in one day. 2 p.m. Eastern. He'll put the link out on the WeNotMe channel, so look out for that. And 7:30 Eastern, you'll be doing Turn the Page with Janine. And once again, this is a WeNotMe operation. That's why I am still with WeNotMe. And I love you guys. Hopefully we'll get some spirit talk next time. And praying that things work out. Sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within. Be the shoulders. Be the lighthouses. Seed your truth. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Thank you for your support. My gratitude and love to everybody. Please go within. Go in your heart. And I'll see you on the next one.